Take two in my life today because I had someone knocking at my door. I need to have one of those signs that says recording in session. So today's live video comes with a recipe, an actual recipe, a cooking recipe that I'm going to put in the comments part of this vlog, because I realized that as I was cooking just then that I was actually thinking about affirmation. Valerie Ling, clinical psychologist, director, founder for the Center for Effective Living. So over the weekend, I spent some time with a group of women, and we were talking about the difficulty in actually being affirming of ourselves, and therefore not actually being very practiced to give affirmations to other people. So what are affirmations? Affirmations are positive, realistic statements that we say to ourselves and we say to others that affirm something about a person in a positive sense. It could be a quality, it could be a character trait that we see, it could be a skill that they might have, a talent or a gift that they might have. It can also just be informing people of the way that you make other people, that person makes you feel, right? So, you know, whenever I see you with a smile on your face, it really makes me feel warm because you genuinely are interested in me, that sort of a thing. So where affirmation is, it's a powerful thing. And a lot of times we don't give it to ourselves. We're mostly self-critical. And we're not as practiced at receiving it or giving it. So as I was cooking this morning, it occurred to me, Valerie, it's 10 o'clock in the morning and you are preparing for dinner for this evening. When does this happen? Very rarely. What is motivating you to actually get up here in the middle of your work day, mind you, because this is a work day for me, to actually prepare a meal for the family? And here's the reason. I had a couple of affirming moments at home this week. Firstly, I was given some affirmation that apparently a kind of a casserole dish that I make many times, mostly when I'm busy and running out of time and don't have a clue what else to do, was actually very well received. And there was a request. And even some meat was purchased so that I would make this exquisite meal of ingredients, which I throw in very quickly because that's the only thing I can grab while I'm on the run. However, the affirmation was that, well, you know, when you make that dish, you know, it's really lovely and it's really tasty. Now, for me, the affirmation is not about my cooking skill. Though I think the person was giving me affirmation about the dish or the cooking skill, because actually for me the affirmation it belongs to me, because most of the time I've actually thought about when I make this dish is when I'm in a hurry. But the affirmation is that actually being resourceful is probably something that I have shown in the ability to come up with this particular thing. And in this particular dish, I am also consistent. So the ability to actually really just adhere to something that I've made before and to be able to replicate it and do it again. Beyond that, it probably also affirms my priorities, that when it comes to making a meal, that it is made for the enjoyment of others, and that I'm generous, if you like, in my time, even though I'm busy. So it was a rather affirming comment to have after all this while of making this dish, and so I did it again. But lo and behold, today I got another piece of affirmation again on my cooking. I have no idea whether this is planned, and this was from another member of the family as they saw the meat defrosting out on the kitchen the kitchen bench. The question was asked whether I was also going to make another sort of a dish which I made, which strangely enough was also another dish that I made in a hurry, which I invented out of, I don't know where, it was basically what was available in my pantry. And again, the comment was, you know, the last time you made that, you know, it was really nice. But further, another family member then said, and not only that, gosh, I'm really burying my inadequacies here, but we were able to freeze all of that meat. oh dear, and reuse it for other things like making sandwiches. And then somebody else piped in and said, oh, and remember she was even able to, you know, make it into some fried rice sort of a dish. And I'm kind of cringing on the inside as I'm hearing this. I'm not quite receiving this as affirmation right now, because the truth be told, probably am a little bit embarrassed that I repurpose some of my dishes. However, for the people receiving it, and this is an example, I think, of being affirmed for things that you don't even realize are impacting or have been important for somebody else, but it is. And again, what was celebrated, I think, was just resourcefulness, right? The ability to juggle as well. That in the midst of, you know, having multiple roles in my life, that when it comes to food, there was an affirmation that perhaps I'm also being resilient in reproducing meals. So I know it might sound like a bit silly or trivial, but for me it was highly motivating, because it just gave me a sense that even though I may sometimes be critical about how very little time and focus I give to certain things in my world, and I might actually minimize the things that I do or the ways that I think, that for other people this may not necessarily be the case, that the way that they've received it is actually with gratitude and with more positivity. So affirmations, it's a lovely thing to give to others if you can have the formula of, when you said this, it really made me feel this, or when you did this, it really showed this about you, or in our last conversation, when you said this or did this, or in our last encounter, I was really grateful for. These are starters for basically providing affirmation to others. And if you can turn that around for yourself and say, to speak back those affirmations, then you actually increase your beliefs, your positive beliefs about yourself, as well as refute the negative beliefs that you might have. So I'm going to end there. I will put my recipe, if you'd like to give it a go, in the comment section. I'm afraid that you won't find any measurements, because like I said, the dish was created on the run, and I basically grabbed a couple of things and went splash, splash, add, stir, stir, dinner's done. Have a great day.